Merry Christmas, friends! How are you? I'm Lisa, Little Annie Z, and this is my mom and my Flosstube channel. Sometimes she pops in and joins me. I didn't think I was going to be coming back so soon. I have a lot to share with you. I've been busy. And I have some notes here, so I'm going to refer to those, and I might be popping in and out of the frame because I have things everywhere, as most of us Flosstubers do. So, welcome to my heritage room. It's a work in progress. This is used to be my son's bedroom when he was at home, and we're going to repaint. And I think when we repaint and I have all the frames hanging, I will do a video tour of this room. It is fantastic. I love this room so much. There's 6 generations represented in this room and plenty room for more. So I wanted to just do my floss tube from this room today. Speaking of the heritage room, I wanted to start out by sharing something with you, and this is something that I found online by accident, and it's from the Queen's Treasures out of New York, and these are the Laura Ingalls and Mary Ingalls dolls. They usually sit on the bed over here, and Laura is holding her little doll. Name is Charlotte, and they do have matching Christmas outfits, but I didn't have time to dress them, so I wanted to share that with you. And also, we have the Mary Ingalls doll. I turned her head a little bit, but so these are just 18-inch dolls that are so fun. She sits on the bed and holds a Christmas stocking. This is a stocking that Carol Lee, Stitching is Elementary, made me one year for Christmas. I thought that was so sweet. So she holds this stocking and sits on the bed over here. Speaking of that, I wanted to share with you, I've been reading the Little House books, and Susan Stanley, Stitch in Time, she just put out a video I watched this morning where she tells a story, the new chapter in her, I think it's Corley and Corley's family, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna put a link to her video because the way she told the story and her video was really awesome for the winter solstice. I always learn a lot from Susan, so I will link that below. Okay, so I want to share some FFOs with you. Let me grab them and I'll be right back. Okay, so my first FFO was my vintage Christmas that was a whip that I was working on in my last video, and this is how I have it displayed in my kitchen. Those are vintage ornaments from my childhood. I have some of my grandfather's cookie cutters, and then just some modern day things I picked up, I believe, at Hobby Lobby. But I only did the top portion of the pillow. Let me take it out of the bowl. So I just did the top portion of the chart, put some vintage buttons from Lori Holt vintage fabric, and some rickrack. And there's the back, and that's where I stuffed it. I love this fabric. Forgot the maker of the fabric, but it's called Hustle and Bustle, I believe. So that's one FFO. And my next FFO is from Modern Folk Embroidery. It's the Jane Austen Real Comfort, a Jane Austen sampler. And I just did the center motif. This is a really pretty frame that was thrifted from Goodwill. It had a mat and some other like print in it, and I took all the staples out and backed it. So yeah, that's done 1/1 on 25 count Lori Holt fabric, and I used the Classic Colorworks Deep Blue Sea thread. So that hangs in my reading nook. And I did post a picture on Instagram of a portion of my reading nook. So if you want to check that out. And my next FFO is a big one. This is Blackbird Designs Oh Joyous Day. This was my magic piece for 2025. And I did finish it. I started it, I believe, in September, and I finished it this month. It's 36 count French Vanilla by Grace Notes Fabrics, with various over-dyed cotton threads. This piece means a lot to me because it's a reminder that every day can be joyous. God answers prayers every day. And this is just a standard 11 by 14 frame that I had. Now, I did back it with some acid-free paper. I wanted to share with you a method that I like to use that's quick and safe for your stitching instead of lacing. And I'll share that with you now while we're talking about this piece, because I used it on this piece. It's using this artist tape I got on Amazon. I'll put a link to it. It's residue-free, acid-free, repositionable, low tack, and it looks like masking tape. And I find this much easier for me than lacing. So I just wanted to share that with you. I know lacing is the traditional, and I have done lacing, but I find I get the same results in a quicker amount of time. So that's why I like this. I wanted to share that with you. And then this is a previous finish, but I wanted to, this piece right here. This is some Valentine's Day stitching. So this is, and I don't remember the chart that I used. If I can figure it out, I'll link it below. But these are all done on Sanguine 36 count. It's backed with some Edita Sitar fabric, just a selvage edge from French General, and a little bow and some pins, some vintage buttons, and a key charm. So there's that. And then I did, this is from Be My Valentine from With Thy Needle and Thread. And I put some chenille around the edge, a vintage button at the top. And then on the back, this is a hanger if I wanted to hang it. I just put a piece of wool and a locket with a pin through it. I stuffed all of these with sawdust and polyfill. I believe this one's all sawdust. The other one is a mixture. And then here's the little needle book. This is the pin keep, pin cushion, and this is the needle. I believe it's called a needle keep. And it's a little envelope. And that's the front. And that's the back. I put some red vintage buttons. This is the inside with the same fabric. I put a little pin, and this little envelope is actually a little envelope that a disposable razor blade comes in. So I snagged that for my husband's razor blades. So I thought that was a cute way to put a needle in there. Yeah, so that'll be a cute display in this Lenox bowl on my vanity in the bedroom. Okay, so let me see. I want to go by my notes because I had a lot to share and I don't want to forget anything. All right, so I want to share with you my gingerbread chart collection and some nutcracker things. Oh wait, one more FFO. This is my another Swoon 16 block that I completed. So I've got that one, and this was the one that I think I showed you before. So it's coming along. This is French General fabric. La Grande Soirée is the fabric collection. And the Swoon 16 quilt is by Thimble Blossoms. By the way, you're not able to really see it, but this bedspread was crocheted by my great-grandmother. I love having that. Okay, my gingerbread collection. So I thought I'd share with you, because I'm all about gingerbread. You can see here I've got some gingerbread and nutcracker stuff set up to share with you. I found this on Amazon. This is my centerpiece on my kitchen table. If you don't like glitter, this is not for you. This gets glitter everywhere. You could see how much glitter is on it. It does have a front and a back, and it does light up. The house does. And I'll show you a close-up of those little mice because they are too cute. My Christmas theme this year for Christmas Eve dinner, which I host at my house, is gingerbread and nutcracker. So here's a little mouse with the plum pudding, and then she has a little plum pudding and a meringue on her head. Thought that was too cute. And I'll share the nutcrackers with you in a moment. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you, this is Home for the Holidays by Stitching with the Housewives. Baked Goods by Little House Needleworks. This is Gingerbread Trio, Little House Needleworks. I stitched this once, but I'm going to stitch it again on a different fabric. Sugar and Spice Cookie Company by Stitching with the Housewives. Little House Needleworks Sweet Petites. These are cute. These are only 2 3/4 inch square. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Home for the Holidays. Souvenirs of the Heart Home for Christmas by Brenda Gervais. I believe that's all done 1/1. I may have shown these to you previously. This is Holiday Home Berries by Erica Michaels. The Linen Berry Collection. This is a free chart by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. It's called Gingerbread Salt Box. You can find that on her blog to take a closer look. And then I ordered this from Country Stitches Online, the Brenda Gervais website, Sugar and Spice. And it comes with the tray that you have to paint yourself or stain. Oops. And the little wool peppermints, candy cane. And the idea is to display it all in here. All right, so those are that's my gingerbread chart collection. Let me see. I do want to share whips with you. Let me share the Nutcracker items I have, and then I'll share my whips. So I went to Home Goods, and by the way, Home Goods, if you're looking for bedding, they have William Morris bedding that I thought was amazing. They had different prints of his and comforters, and they were so nice. So I blame this on my friend Carolee. I texted her a picture of my cart when I went to Home Goods. I loved coming up with a theme for Christmas Eve, and so this year, like I said, is going to be Gingerbread and Nutcracker. And I found they have a whole collection of these Nutcracker shelf sitters. I mean, isn't he cute? I couldn't resist him. And this is the Sugar Plum Fairy. She is adorable. I just love her. Look at her ballet slippers. So these sit on my staircase. And I also picked up these table favors, chocolates, and these plates for dessert. This wasn't at Home Goods. This was at Kirkland's. Here in Atlanta, we have a home decor called Kirkland's. And you guys, everything is on sale now, so it's awesome. So I wanted to share that with you. Since I'm doing Gingerbread and Nutcracker themed items today. All right, and I showed this to you maybe a year ago, the Nutcracker Quaker sampler. I love this so much. I really want to stitch this at some point. This is by Ori TM. So that's something I want to do in the future. All right, let's see. I am on track. I'm doing good on time. All right, now it's time to share my whips with you. So I came up with I do want to keep up with my stitching in 2025, but I don't want the, what do you call it? The, you know, the needle the needlework daily planner that everybody is getting. I think it's pretty and I love seeing all the stickers and stuff, but I wanted something that I really would enjoy writing in, otherwise I won't do it. So I found this company this is a wall calendar, and I love the expressions that this artist paints on the faces. It's Edmund Blair Layton, and I'll put a link to the Amazon shop that I got this from, but you do have to plan ahead because it took me maybe a week or two to get this. But for instance, here's January, and it's just a simple wall calendar, and I'm gonna keep track of my stitching there. I got different color Sharpies that I'm color coding my entries, which I got that idea from Karen, the recovering monogamous stitcher. So thanks for mentioning that, Karen. I like that idea, so I will just do the same. But anyway, I love that. I love the expressions on these faces. So I thought that this was a pretty calendar. All right, so I'm going to share my whips with you. I have them in this basket, and I'll just take out one at a time. So this is my, what I keep, and nothing is ironed, but everything is off the hoop, I believe. This is my Consider the Lilies. And I met all my whip goals this past month. I wanted to finish the page on this right here, and then I've started this side. So I met that goal, and I'm doing this on 32 count fiber on a whim, which, by the way, I think it's milk and sugar, milk and honey. I get that mixed up. By the way, I think this is a smaller count than 32. I want to say it's probably more like a 34 for some reason. Because one strand I get great coverage. It might be the tight weave. So that's my Consider the Lilies coming along. And maybe on my next floss tube, because of the sake of time, I'll share with you all my flosses. But today I'm just going to run through and share my progress. All right, next I've got my Plantation Sampler by Canterbury Designs, I believe, is the designer on this. And this is it's a bad photograph, but that's the sampler. I'm doing this. Okay, here's another fabric that I don't think is the count that I had thought it was. I thought this was a 40 count Havana by Weeks Dye Works, and I'm using various over dyed cottons. Here, there we go. I wanted to turn the corner so I can start down here, so I met that goal. I was having the hardest time with this Havana. I thought it was a 40, but I think it was mislabeled because I counted, and I think it's a 46 count. So I have to use my magnifying light for this, which I felt better when I figured it out, because I was like, why am I not enjoying this? It was really giving me a hard time. But when I got my magnifying light out, it really helped. So that is the Plantation Sampler. And then I didn't bring up the sewing box, but I did show it in my last video. It's that mustard yellow sewing box, and I'm putting all of the stitching that I'm doing in the Blackbird Designs Sewing Club book. And I am working on this sampler right here. That's going to go on top of the box. That'll be on top of the lid. And it's called, what is this sampler called exactly? It's called Willing Hands. Here's a better photo of it. And I'm working on a legacy, let's see, 18 count Ada. And it's a long piece. This is my progress so far. Not very much, but still one stitch at a time, right? Okay. That's using various over-dyed threads. And then here I am working on Plum Street Samplers, Miss Bingley's Library. And this is the chart. And I wanted to get the whole first floor of the library filled in, which I was able to do. And I'm doing this on 40 count Steinbeck by Needle and Flax. So I filled in the bottom floor and I started the top floor windows. I was pretty monogamous on my magic piece, that Oh Joyous Day, but I am happy with the progress. I set small goals for myself and I was able to complete those goals, so I'm happy about that. As well as get another quilt block done in my swoon quilt. And then I have a plan for New Year's Day. So New Year's Eve, I have 4 whips, and I'm going to stitch on those 4 whips for 3 hours each. That's my plan. And then on New Year's Day, I'm going to start, it's going to be a new start and an FFO. I want to do it all on New Year's Day. I want to start it and finish it. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to have it kitted up and I want to share it with you. And I also want this to be my blessing sampler. It's the first time I've ever done a blessing sampler, and I like the idea of it. So I'm just doing a simple alphabet. Now I know my ABCs. It's a free pattern from Blackbird Designs. So if you go to Patricia Geary's website, I believe you can find it there. Or just Google Now I Know My ABCs by Blackbird Designs. And I'm doing it on this fabric, which is a 18 count fabric flare called Victorian Roses. It's going to be small. And I'm using Weeks Dye Works Teal Frost thread. Matches my sweatshirt. So what I did was, to figure out what kind of thread I wanted to use, I took the background of this fabric and I went many shades darker so it will show up. So it's going to be a monochromatic and just going to be the alphabet, and I'll probably put it in a little frame, and it's a good springtime stitch that I want to get done. Okay, those are all my whips. Okay, let me see here. I've got that. Okay. Lastly, I want to share some pretty books, and an antique find. And a new gift that I received. So first of all, let me share with you my antique find. I believe Carol Lee may have pointed this out to me. I was looking for purple glass. We went antiquing twice, and the first time I didn't find any purple glass that fit the color I was looking for. I wanted it to go on a display for the honey and lavender from Erin Elizabeth Designs. So this is a little bell, and this, I didn't know it at the time, but I did some research because I found a mark on the back, and I did, I used the Google Lens search, and it's actually Lenox Imperial glass that, this is Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. They make these in different colors, different color glass. They started in the 1940s, and then, I mean, it was only like $12, so it's not an expensive piece, but I was happy to know, what it was and when it was made. And then I went into Books A Million the other day, and because I told you I've been going through the Little House books, and found that I love reading these again. So I picked up another juvenile book. These are pretty covers. The Secret Garden. This is a juvenile book that I want to read. I just love this for my reading nook. The print, is nice and big too, which I like. And then I also picked up the Scarlet Letter by Hawthorne. I used to have this book, and I did start reading that book, but I misplaced the book, so they had that, so I picked that up too. These were on sale at Books A Million. I don't know, where you are, if you have a Books A Million, but the publisher is called the Cranford Collection. Let me see if I can. No, there is no information, but the Cranford Collection. And then I wanted to end the Flosstube with this, showing you a couple pages in this Victoria magazine. It took me 2.5 days to go through this entire magazine because it's just chock full of great things. So let me share with you this Valentine's Day display. This is like a tarnished silver soup tureen, and I just love that Valentine's Day vignette. Let's see. Oh, this was a winter cake and cookie display that I thought was really pretty, using royal icing, and the recipe is in the magazine as well. Oh yeah, here's where I got the idea of the pretty books. This is a virtual book club that you can join, and it was so inspirational to me. Let's see. She's on Instagram. If you want to follow her, her name is Haley Solano, and it's the Enchanted Book Club. And she takes you to destinations of where the books were, like the Little Women House, and that kind of thing. Here's another paper crafting for Valentine's Day. I thought was super pretty. And anything in here that has a shopping link, they give you those sources as well. This is a velvet box lined with satin. It was used for women's gloves. I love this vignette too, that statuary. Here's some needlepoint. And, oh yeah, I love this interior. This is the Greenbrier Hotel. I believe it's in West Virginia. But I just love that winter scene right there. So anyway, I will end with that. And I will see you in the new year. You guys have a very Merry Christmas. I'm looking forward to 2 weeks off. So I'll be getting lots of stitching and quilting done, hopefully. So you guys remember the reason for the season. And I'll see you next year. Bye.